welcome to the AT&T Byron Nelson DraftKings Picks Preview Show. We're the Tour Junkies. I'm DB. I got Pat Perry. We've had a fantastic night already tonight. I'm drinking a weird gin that someone gave me for free.
I wouldn't even know
G&T.
where you would start drinking gin. Like what you'd put in it. Like what do you have in there? Like
G&T. It's tonic. It's just tonic water and lime. That's it. I
I'm
don't
going
know.
to Tito's. I'm going to Planet Tito's tonight.
Yes, I was hoping you would do that. I'm excited for that. Pat, now, I'm not going to gloat too much because we already did it on the betting show, but we did
Yeah.
I hit Max Homa on the betting card at 40-1, our 10th outright winner of the year. So congratulations to me. But I want to talk a little bit right off the top about a little bit of game theory and DFS and just kind of how fine the lines are here, okay? Because this is important for people to know. As always, we are presented to you by our friends at Fantasy National. FantasyNational.com/TJ is where you go to get 20% off any level membership, weekly, monthly, or annual memberships available. It has been our one-stop shop for all of our PGA Tour betting and DFS tools, whether it's models, custom models, ownership projections, course history, recent form, all the stats you could ever ask for, in-depth player profile stuff, in-depth course data and information. It is the one place that if we said you just go to one place to do this and to do this well, it's Fantasy National. And if you don't have a membership there, guess what? You're behind a lot of people, especially if you're playing DFS. You're going to get lapped in the field because there is data there that people have in their hands that you just don't. So go to fantasynational.com/TJ, get the 20% off. And thank you to Fantasy National for sponsoring the podcast. So, Pat, here's how razor thin the line is sometimes. Last week on Friday, Corey Connors was the most popular player picked on average across DFS contests. He was owned around 26, 27% across most contests. He had like a 14-foot putt to make the cut on 18. Now, let me ask you a question. You do this for a living, kind of, Pat, kind of. I really do, but you kind of do. Is Corey Connors a guy that on the 36th hole on Sunday, he has a 14.5-foot putt to make the cut? Is Corey Connors the guy that you want to bet your money on that he's going to make that putt?
He would not be. No, he would not be.
Correct. Unless you're Paul Azinger, who thinks he's one of the best putters on the PGA.
Or AC, our buddy AC.
Or AC. Yeah. So anyway, he didn't. He's not the guy I would pick either. But he made it. Okay. So he makes it in on the cut. The guy who's the most popular player owned, and then he ends up having a decent week. Like what did he? I don't even remember where he finished, but he had a decent week. Another guy, Pat, is Rory Mcilroy, who late on Friday on the 36th hole had to get up and down from like a sizable bunker. It was like a 50-foot bunker shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
had to get up and down. Had a 7-foot putt to get the up and down, to get the sandy, to play the weekend. He was like 24, 25% owned. He makes it. He makes the weekend on the number and then surges up the leaderboard to finish 5th or wherever he finishes.
Which is not unusual for Rory McIlroy.
Not unusual. It's not nearly as unusual as Corey Connors making that 15-footer. But it just goes to show you how, those two things go the opposite direction. And last week was a bloodbath in terms of the chalk, right? Now, Max Homa ended up being a little more chalky than a lot of people.
Well, Max and Keegan were, to me, a little too chalky for my liking. I think I mentioned that.
Thought Keegan would be chalky. Yeah. I don't remember seeing Max's ownership projections pre-Thursday, like where they ended up. I thought they were much. Yeah. I had a lot of Max in DFS, but I
liked Max. I didn't like chalky Max, but that was obviously a mistake.
Yeah. So anyway, it just goes to show you how thin the margins are. I put Rory as the chalk bomb. I was having a tough time making the chalk bomb decision last week, and I went with Rory just based off most expensive player. He was $200 more than Jon Rahm was the week before in a much stronger field. And it's a new event or a new golf course that we haven't seen Rory play at all, or maybe one time. So it felt like the way to go. It didn't pay off. Like in retrospect, Russell Henley should have been the chalk bomb. He was owned at like, I don't know, like 18% or something, or 22%, and he finished T41. I was just pointing that out because it just goes to show you how thin the margins are here. You got to get that stuff right. So, by the way, also last week, we asked everybody to make the Elon Musk comment, and whoever had the best comment, we'd send them some TJ swag. Larry Mack on YouTube. You win, sir. Larry's idea was if Elon bought the PGA Tour, Elon should put on special Tesla shock devices on every player. And when they are playing too slow, they get shocked right there on the course.
I
Oh,
love
that's
that
kinda
idea.
cool. I would love to see Bryson get get lit up every 4 holes, and even Keegan could definitely be a candidate for one of the we saw him dancing
Yeah.
around a lot on Sunday, like, "Am I ready? Am I not?" Anyway, that was a funny comment, it made me laugh. Larry, way to go. You sir win. For the comments this week, I will be on site at TPC Craig Ranch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as credentialed media. Planning on sitting in on some of the press conferences. Let's see, you got Xander Schauffele tomorrow afternoon, Scotty Scheffler, JT, Jordan Spieth, and Will Zalatoris on schedule for Wednesday. I'll be sitting in those press conferences. Put in the comments, what do you want me to ask these people? What do you want me to ask them? Do you want me to ask them something kind of, off the wall a little bit, but not too off the wall that the PGA Tour will tell us never to come back, or something that's going to give us some insight from a betting DFS perspective, either on that player or on TPC Craig Ranch, or maybe on or maybe just on that player themselves. So put that in the comments. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Put that in the comments and let us know what's up. All right, Pat, let's get to the picks, buddy. 9K and above range on DraftKings. We're breaking it down. We're going to give you 3 tournament plays we like, a cash play, starting with Scotty Scheffler at only 10-9. I'm guessing because of the depth in the field, but no, we don't have the 11K price going on with old Scheffler, which is interesting to see. Then you got JT, DJ, and Jordan rounding out the 10K range. Hideki, Xander, Burns, Zalatoris, Neiman, Kepka, and Tommy Fleetwood are your guys up here, rounding out the 9K range here. So, what you gonna do, Pat? What do you think?
Well, um, this is an interesting area for me. I'm going to start in the 9K range here, and maybe I'm still a little undecided, so I may be asking you for some advice here. But
Oh,
I
wow.
do like Hideki at 9,900.
Okay.
Hideki
I
is a
don't like.
guy. Okay, well that's okay. Definitely a guy though that checks a lot of boxes here. He's top 5 in approach, opportunities gained, fourth in birdie or better percentage, top 10 in par 5 scoring. Putting is just like Willie Z, who I also like. Always an issue there for Hideki. But I do like Hideki here at 9,900. Also, like I mentioned, I like Willie Z a lot. I liked him on the betting show. I like him here. He's at 9,400. If you look at a model
Mm,
that I may have, he's
mm,
second in that model,
mm,
with in the top 10 and off the tee, approach, opportunities gained, and birdie or better percentage. He is also top 25 in par 5 scoring and top 15 in driving distance, which I like as well this week. So Willie Z and Hideki, I'm kind of locked in on right now that I really like. The third one, I don't know. I don't know if I want to jump up there to JT at 10-6, or do I want to get really cute, DB? Really cute. And go Brooks Koepka at 9,200, who I do think is going to be super low owned this week. I think he loves playing the week before a major. We know that about Brooks. He likes to try to find form. So I think he's serious about the week. I don't think he's like just going to, play halfway and bail or whatever. Um, so I think I don't know. I'm kind of talking to myself into for GPPs playing Brooks Koepka there at 9,200, even though he's not going to check a lot of boxes for you. He's really not. Um, but I think this could be just a good kind of gamble week on him in DFS.
I mean, are people just gonna say, "Wow, I get to play Scotty Scheffler at in Texas at a course he's on record saying he's familiar with, as hot as he is at only 10-9?" Are people just gonna do that? Because, like, it seems like a really good value up top for Scheffler. I think one of the forgotten guys up here may actually be a guy who we just saw win, and that's Jordan Spieth. I think Jordan might be a little forgotten at 10-1. Are you interested in him at all after winning the
I
RBC
mean,
Heritage?
there's a lot up here. That's why it's kind of tough to peg, who I want exactly. But I don't mind Jordan. I don't mind him.
He finished ninth here last year. I don't know that are people really convinced? in Jordan, I don't know if they are. I mean, we know this course is going to play firmer and faster than it did last year. I mean, last year it played really soft, um, and we're going to get a little more wind, definitely dry conditions here. But I think Spieth is going to be one to watch in terms of ownership. There's a lot you can do here for sure. I think the cash play is for sure Will Zalatoris. I love that. I mean, I'm a big fan of Burns and Zalatoris. Like in a vacuum, the guys that I like the most and I think are the best volume or best value, regardless of ownership, are Burns and Zalatoris. Burns finished runner up here last year, tied the course record with a 62. Zalatoris lives in the area, sleeping in his own bed. Said he's played this course a ton growing up, very familiar with it, and he's just due the win. So those two plays I think are both going to be pretty popular. You could roll with either one of them in cash, but like we've seen for the last couple of weeks too, you do have to eat chalk at some point, typically to
Yeah.
to win a GPP. You can do that. So it may be that these guys are those plays. Um, so I think for me, Burns and Zalatoris, I just love a lot. So I'm in on them. Pivots could be anywhere from Neiman. I kind of like Neiman to Jordan. JT and Scheffler. I mean, I know it's a lot. There's just a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of good names in here. I was starting to come around on Fleetwood, or I was thinking I was liking Fleetwood earlier in the day today, but then when I started digging, I think I'm out. And I'm out on Koepka. I'm fading Koepka here in terms of DFS. I think he's obviously got some firepower. He could play well here, but there's just too many other guys around him that I think have just as much, upside that I just like better. So
See, Fleetwood is a fade for me. I just don't. I know he's been playing better lately, and so I
oh,
would
it's been
kind
hit
of
or miss. It's been really hit or
yeah,
miss.
I'd kind of like it to see if Fleetwood had a little bit higher ownership than he should, and then it makes it an even better fade. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but for me, Fleetwood is my fade in this.
Well, remember, folks, if you're playing DFS and you're playing GPPs, this is an ownership game. This is a game theory strategy game. You can't just play all the chalk. You got to have some leverage somewhere. You can't play them all, and you got to have pivots at certain places. So make sure you do that. Don't forget that. Also, make sure you visit our friends at front9coffee.com, our new coffee sponsor. We talked about them last week. We mentioned, they're going to be doing a special brew for Pat. It's going to have, Pat's going to go and select the flavor profile, all the good stuff. We're going to have Pat's image on it. It's going to be beautiful. Pat's going to be on a coffee bag. You could own a piece of Pat
I
right there.
cannot believe that I'm going to be on a coffee bag.
Yeah, you could drink a little piece of Pat every morning. If you love coffee, you love golf, these are the folks for you. Small batch artisan coffee, roasted daily, ground to order just for you. Okay. When if you go to place an order right now, chances are your coffee bean is green and not even roasted yet. And then they're going to roast it when you order it. You can get it whole bean or you can get it, fine or coarse grind, whatever you want. It's delivered to your door anywhere in the US and Canada, ships quickly, arrives fresh, not all gassy in a bag like the grocery store folks. You know what I mean? Based right here in Augusta, Georgia, with roasters in Greenville, South Carolina. Great company, great coffee. I've been enjoying it. Pat's been enjoying it. Go to front9coffee.com. That's front, the number 9coffee.com, and use promo code TJ10 to get your 10% off your entire order and all your orders subsequently. So listen, these guys have chosen to go in on the Tour Junkies podcast for, the rest of this season, as well as be a part of our live event in September in Pennsylvania. So if you're a Tour Junkies fan and you like coffee, do us a favor and don't buy your next coffee at the grocery store and give these guys a try. At least give them a try one time. It would help us out, helps them out. Obviously, we're pumped to have them on board. So very appreciative there. All right, Pat, let's get to the 8K range. Let's see here. I think I've got a graphic. Do I have a graphic? Boom. Look at this. Look at this
Look
fancy
at
graphic.
that. What a beautiful looking graphic.
Yes, and it starts with Adam Scott at 8,700. Kind of weird. Like there's no 89, 88. They just go to 87. Adam Scott at 87, Gooch at 86, Johnny V at 84, Kokrak 83, Jason Day, who had a good finish last week at the Wells Fargo, 8,200. Adam Wise at 81, Hadwin and Cam Champ rounded out at
Adam Wise.
8,000. Sorry, I said what I say. I said Adam Wise, Aaron Wise, Adam Hadwin, and Cam Champ. Yeah, for me, I love Johnny Vegas here, and I love Aaron Wise. Those are the two plays for me. Both guys checking a lot of boxes. Johnny Vegas gaining 10 strokes on approach last week We talked about him a lot on the betting show. He just kept bombing driver at Avenel and didn't gain any strokes off the tee, but that'll be different here. Played golf at University of Texas. He's, a couple of key stats this week are definitely DraftKings points scored. This is going to be a birdie fest. You need guys scoring. Opportunities gained is the proprietary Fantasy National stat you need to be looking at this week. If you've not joined Fantasy National yet, the reason for you to join is going to be opportunities gained for this week and many other weeks throughout the year. When it's a birdie fest, when you've got, these large fairways that everybody's going to be hitting and these large greens that everybody's going to be hitting, opportunities gained, which is telling you who's hitting it within 15 feet of the hole in or under regulation. That's a stat you're going to want to know. That's your scoring stat. And then as well, also the par five scoring. There's 4 of these par fives. They're all 4 reachable by most of the field. I think those are key stats, and Johnny Vegas checks a lot of boxes. So I love him at 8,400, and I love Aaron Wise at 8,100. He's doing the same thing. He's checking a lot of boxes too. It's always about the putter for him. Obviously, he's won the Byron Nelson before, but it was at a terrible golf course, not this one. That was back in like 2018. But he's been knocking on the door. He just needs to put 4 together. I just love the value for both of those guys. So Wise in Vegas for me, and I would play either one of those guys in cash. The fade for me is Adam Scott. I hate paying it. I don't want to pay. I just don't want to play Adam Scott typically. He's just middle of the road in so much that I just don't want to do it when I feel like I could go elsewhere. He's only got one top 10 in 2022. He didn't play that many events, but this isn't Adam Scott's one you take in like a difficult field when you don't have to rely on him making a bunch of putts. You got to make putts to win a birdie contest. And he has been putting better. But I still don't trust him long term. So that's it for me.
Adam Scott was, I like to sometimes just fade a guy, and it's really just because.
Oh, yeah, the just
That's
because fade.
that's why Adam Scott is my fade. But
Yeah.
I really think in a field like this, there's a little bit of just name recognition that is, why his price is where it is, and I just don't. I don't like paying 8,700 there. So I'm with you there. I'm with you on Johnny Vegas. He's my favorite play really in this 8,400 range. I think if I'm taking a cash play, he'd be my cash play as well. So I like Vegas at 8,400. I like Cam Champ at 8,000. And I think Cam is a guy that is always sort of hit or miss. He's kind of like Matthew Wolff, who's also in the field and has been a little hit or miss. They're very comparable players.
Yeah, they are.
With very different swings, but they both are extremely long off the tee, and they play courses differently because of the fact that they're so long, and so they're not like hitting longer irons into some of these greens. A lot of the times they have wedges and things like that on, especially on a course that like this where you have 4 par fives that are all reachable in 2. I think Cam Champ is going to obliterate these par fives, and that's the reason I like him this week. He is top 20 in the field in par 5 scoring. He's putting really well lately. If you just look at the last event, he gained 6.8 strokes at the Mexico Open. So that's pretty damn good. Now, his approach play has not been that great, but I just feel like, what we've seen from Cam Champ recently with that, nobody expected what he did at the Masters with the top 15. And then he follows that up with a good finish at the Mexico Open. So I like Cam Champ there at 8,000. And Adam Scott was my fade too. So.
Yeah, I can't get down with Cam Champ. The irons are too piss poor for me. Not going to create enough. I mean, I know he'll do well in the par fives, but the irons have been so bad for him. I don't understand how he could be that bad with his irons. But yeah, and I do like Matt Wolff. We'll get to him in a second. But before we get to the 7K range, Pat, we've got a promo from Prize Picks that involves one of our favorite players in the world, and I'm going to put it up on the screen.
I love a good promo.
Look at this. Look at this.
Woo!
Look at. I can't. Look at that. Exclusive offer. If Siwoo Kim finishes 1 hole at the Byron Nelson, if he tees off on Thursday on number 1 or number 10, and he finishes the hole, then if you're a new depositor to Prize Picks using promo code TJ, they're going to automatically put $50 into your account right then and there. As soon as he's finished with the hole, you're going to get $50 into your account. Boom, bang, boom, bop. Done. Beep, bop, beep, bop. It's done. So all you got to do is you have to be a new user to Prize Picks. A lot of you've already signed up for Prize Picks. This is not for you, but keep rocking. You know what I mean? We're having a lot of fun with Prize Picks in the Nut Hut, winning a bunch of money, not just on golf, on a lot of stuff. NBA, WNBA. I saw people hitting that. Major League Baseball earlier in the week. So here's how it works. New listener, sign up at prizepicks.com. Make sure you put in the promo code TJ or you don't get the bonus. So promo code TJ, and you have to play in a $5 PGA Tour entry, PGA Tour contest. So you pick 2 or more players, put $5 on it. You don't even have to put Siwoo. Siwoo doesn't have to be one of the players. If he's not up there, not a play you want to use, he doesn't have to be. Doesn't matter. You're still going to get the $50 as soon as he finishes one hole at TPC Craig Ranch. And now Prize Picks is legal in 31 states, Pat. They just went legal in New York, baby.
3-1.
I was in New York a couple weeks ago. Freaking could gamble gamble my heart away to anything I want. Smoke weed legally, recreationally, like you could almost kill someone in New York legally. But you can defecate on the sidewalk in New York. But can you place a prop contest with 2 of your favorite golfers to hit
Yeah.
under or over in greens and regulation? Absolutely not. But now you can. Now you
Well,
can.
and Prize Picks is, if you're playing DFS and you're reluctant to tell people about the advice that you're getting from the Tour Junkies
That's
because
right.
maybe it's good and you're winning your little 10-man contest.
Yeah.
You can
The
tell
office
people about
contest.
Prize Picks. It's
Yeah.
it's not gonna matter. Like that person's not gonna beat you
Yeah.
because you're telling them about Prize Picks and signing up under our code and you're all winning money. Like this
Yeah.
is a good community thing
Yeah, you
for
can win
people.
together. It's just you versus the projected numbers. You're
Yeah.
gonna pick 2 to 5 players, pick an over under on whatever the projection is. You can win 10x, sometimes 12x, depending on what's happening that week. You can do all kind of sports. You can do mixed sport combos, so you can do an NBA, golf contest, Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
whatever. You can mix it up. The app is awesome. They offer safe and fast withdrawals. It's just the best props or pick 'em, contests you could possibly play. We love Prize Picks, and yeah, like I said, in the Nut Hut, it is popping. If you are a paid member of the Nut Hut, the Prize Picks channel alone will help you earn your $10 or $90 easily. I promise you. So hop up in there, use promo code TJ. All right, Pat. Let's talk the 7K range, the beefy sevens. You know what I mean? Leading off is Seamus Power and Alex Noren. You got some DFS darlings in here. Our boy Siwoo right there, thanks to the Prize Picks contest. Siwoo is 7,800. Mito Pereira, DFS darling, 7,600. He's back. Sep Straka coming off a miscut, which killed me a lot in a lot of my DFS contests. He's back. Ryan Palmer's at 7,400. Pat, he shot a 62 here at this course, ties the course record along with Sam Burns, but his was not in competition at TPC Craig Ranch. Luke Liss is up in here. Aaron Rye, CH3, Matt Wolf's down there. My boy David Lipsky, who pissed me off last week's in here. Scott Stallings, friend of the podcast, is here. Carlos Ortiz, another Texas guy, Texas college player there. This is the 7. Welcome to the 7K range. And I'll start there near the bottom. You've already kind of teed me up for this, but I mean, Matt Wolf is for sure in play for me at 7,200. The difference between Matt Wolf and Cam Champ, even though they are a very similar player profile, is I can save $800 in DraftKings for the volatility that I get with Matt Wolf, and I like it. And I can't believe he played as well as he did. I definitely did not see that coming. And maybe people are going to jump all over that, and a chalky $7,200 Matt Wolf is probably not something that I will get down with. But gained strokes across the board except for off the tee, broke dead even, but it's because, his distance was, I don't know. He didn't hit enough fairways at TPC Potomac or whatever, and it penalized him. But he's not going to be as penalized here. I like the upside of Matt Wolf, winning upside, and a lot of scoring can come out of this kid when he's firing. And he's a streaky player. So, PGA Tour winner, plenty of top fives, bunch of runner-ups. I think he's had like 4 or 5 runner-ups in his PGA Tour career. So, like, when he gets going, he can go. And I gotta believe he's wanting to peak and play his best, in the state of Oklahoma where he went to school next week for the PGA Championship. So to me, Matt Wolf at 7,200 is a tremendous value with a lot of upside. I like that a lot. I mean, I'm going to leave a few of these. I know there's some agreement with you and I here. I think I am going to steal this one though. I'm going to leave another one for you, but Keith Mitchell at 7,500,
Oh,
T26 here last year, and he's coming off this miscut. But, you know, that was not a great course for Keith Mitchell whatsoever. TPC Potomac was not. He was 17% owned. Definitely irritated a lot of folks. Okay. 17% owned. Still gained strokes on approach. Still gained strokes putting, which that's what he normally does. You know what he didn't do well? He didn't scramble well, which he never he doesn't scramble well anyway. Like historically over his career, not a good scrambler. Not going to need that here at TPC Craig Ranch. If you do, you're already in trouble. But he lost a stroke and a half off the tee because he was hindered. You know, we talk about this with some of these shorter courses that may require a little bit more precision. It doesn't mean a bomber can't play well and can't club down and be fine and gain strokes, but it does neuter them to some extent. It like neuters the upside a bit, right? And that's what happens to Keith Mitchell. But before that, like let's look at the year Keith Mitchell's had. It's very solid. Okay. And this play suits him much better. Again, played it last year before the PGA, finished 26th. I think Keith Mitchell could be a sneaky tournament play at 7,500. And then it's probably going to be, you know, it's probably going to be Mav McNeely because I'm DB and Mav McNeely is my guy. So at 7,800, I'm in on Mav McNeely. I'm in on the scoring. I'm in on the upside. I'm in on the very high floor that I think he brings you in DFS. And I think the kid's ready to win. He's already been battle tested late on a Sunday and choked it up. But I think he's ready now. I think he's also the cash play. But there's some more names in here I know I like and I know you like and we agree on. But I think Mitchell is going to give you a little bit of a pivot here. And then Mav is a safe guy, and Wolf is a cheap guy with a lot of upside. My fade here is the defending champion KH Lee. You know, I tend to fade a guy who's coming back to the first tournament he won, and now he's the defending champ with added crap to do. Plus, he's not playing that great. So I'm out on KH Lee. Maybe
he
that's
was almost first round leader last week, and
yeah.
then that didn't work out. But
4 rounds in a golf
I
tournament.
know. Wow. So we have a lot of agreement, and we have a lot of guys that. So I apparently just drank the DB Kool-Aid this week because I have Mav McNeely, Keith Mitchell are my two favorite plays, and well, you didn't mention them because I think you saved them for me, and that is Kurt Kidayama at
Yeah.
7,400. I love Kidayama this week. He is a guy that definitely fits the profile here. I hope I'm not late to the party here in DFS. Because he's just been fantastic lately. You know, second place finish at the Mexico Open. Back that up on a course where I didn't think it was like as good of a fit at all for him this week, but with the top 15. So
It's going to be interesting to see this because look, okay, runner up at the Mexico Open, and I get it. It kind of came out of nowhere despite him finishing third at the Honda.
yeah,
Okay. But after he finished second at the Mexico Open, like people were still like, no, like I don't know if I believe this, right? And then on average, Fantasy National has his ownership at like 2% at the Wells Fargo. So
yeah.
after the runner up in Mexico, still only 2% at the Wells Fargo. And he gains, 11 strokes ball striking last week and finishes 15th.
I think he's just I don't know. I mean,
I think
he's
he's gonna get some traction, but we'll see what it actually ends up being. Is Pat Mayo doing a show this week? I know he's on vacation. If
yeah.
Mayo's not doing a show, maybe it
I
suppresses.
don't know. I'll be interested to see. But look, the guy is very long off the tee. And you know, when you look at just the stats in general, he will certainly check a lot of boxes. I'll give you just a few, other than just the driving distance numbers for him. He's also third in the field right now in strokes gained approach. He is eighth in opportunities gained. He's second in birdie or better percentage, and he's 11th in driving distance. So Kurt Kitayama is, he is going to fit the bill for you this week when you're looking at a profile for a guy that can play well in this course. So I like him a lot there at 7,400. We'll see where the ownership is. I'd like to pick a few, I guess, that you didn't. So I'll go with Lotto Griffin at 7,700. I think that's another good play. Across the board for him. He putts well on bent grass greens. He's top 20 in opportunities gained, top 25 in strokes gained approach. Good off the tee. So Lotto Griffin also is another one that I like there at 7,700. Fading here was kind of tough for me. I hate to do this because I know the Aussie fans always hate when I fade an Aussie, but I'm going to fade Mark Leishman. I don't really see a lot of upside in Mark Leishman right now. Like,
Mm.
what's he do? What is Leishman doing? Like, what is he doing that's really any good?
Leishman hurt me last week too because I came around on him on Wednesday and I talked him up in the nut hut and kind of looking at ownership, and he came out the gate hot, and then just some big numbers got him. Big numbers got him. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So I think the official fade for me is going to be Leash. There you go. Sorry.
Sorry,
Sorry to
Leash.
my kangaroo bouncing friends.
Kangaroo bouncing friends. What was it you called me last week? You got mad at me because I was doing something and you said I was like an adult baby kid. Is that what it was in the nut hut? You called me or something? We
Yeah,
got
I
to a
did.
fight in the nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another reason to join the nut hut. If you really want to, be a part, get a front row seat of me and Pat yelling at each other and getting in fights. Then it happens almost every Wednesday night. Like we get in arguments. But Pat
I
called me an
forgot
adult.
about calling you adult baby an adult baby kid. I think I texted that.
Yeah, you texted me, but then I put it in the nut hut. I showed
Yeah.
yeah, you were yeah. Um, by the way, we might have some swag coming out on when I touch myself. It doesn't involve Rory. Pat's famous banger that our listener Matt Madonna. Uh, we played for everybody last week, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be really exciting. Um, yeah, it's going to be great. I might wear that shirt every day, Pat. I might wear it every day. There's also been talks of a Rudy the Gerbil T-shirt that's been in there, So maybe if you would buy any one of those T-shirts, put that in the comments. If you got nothing else
Yeah.
to comment about I asked people to comment on what questions you'd like me to ask
Should,
in
I
the.
mean, should we play the Rory thing just to
I don't know if do we
do we
have it?
have it
We played
ready?
it twice last week. I don't know. Yeah, we do have it. Should we play it?
Yeah, I think we should play it.
Okay, let's play it.
Touch myself. When I 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 touch myself. When I touch myself, it doesn't involve Rory. When I touch myself.
Dude, an underrated part of that song we didn't talk about last week is at the end after you say that and it goes that boop 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 boop
Yeah.
boop boop. Like that feels nice.
Yeah,
That feels really nice.
it sounds really good.
Yeah, a touch myself a touch myself t-shirt I for sure would definitely wear every day. Also, something that I'm literally using every day, Pat, because I need a little bit more energy because this full-time TJ stuff is taking it out of me. And I need an optimized immune system because there's all kind of germs out there, and I don't like taking pills. It's our friends over at Athletic Greens. I've been taking a little AG1, and it's actually a supplement that tastes delicious. It really does taste great. You know that. You've been taking it too. And it doesn't taste like it's super healthy, which is weird because healthy stuff usually tastes terrible. It has like a really mild, like tropical taste. I could actually wake up in the morning and be okay about doing. So with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day on the right side. You know what I mean? It contains less than 1 gram of sugar. That's important, for all you, if you're trying to watch that gut fat, less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything. And it tastes good. Supports better sleep and recovery. So AG1, it's all you need. It's the one thing you need to do every day to take good care of yourself, and it costs less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than a cold brew or whatever it is you're doing. And Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews online. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements and all that stuff to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/tour junkies. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/tour junkies to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance with that AG1 hitter, baby. Athleticgreens.com/tour junkies. Another partner, a new partner that's partnering for quite some time, and we appreciate that. Especially, when the partners come on and they partner for a little while, like we want to give them some love. They're putting a lot of trust in
Yeah.
us and in our listeners and in the engagement that we have and the audience that we have. And we only partner with products that we feel like are appropriate for you guys and make sense. Okay. And we got a lot of old listeners like us, getting gray.
No, we
Getting
get
gray.
requests. We get requests for stuff, and we turn it down.
Yeah, we do.
We're like, they're not going to be interested in that. But this
We
this
aren't just whoring ourselves out for every little company, okay? It may look like that at sometimes, but it's not really the case. I had a YouTube viewer tell me that his only comment on the YouTube video was "Nice bags under your eyes, DB," and I thought to myself, "Shit, man, that's not nice." I'm getting old. I got 3 kids, you know? But actually, I realized it was a morning I had not drank my Athletic Greens, so maybe that's why. Anyway, partner with us. We need it. All right, let's look at the 6K range and then we'll do our 2-minute min lineup, which has to be better than the one we did last week. 6K range here. You got Danny Willett.
oh,
Okay, you got him. You
so
got
many players.
Grayson Siggs up in here. Um, Charles Schwartzel. Fun fact: Charles Schwartzel, one of like 4 players to shoot a 63 here last year, along with Jordan Spieth, who I just mentioned. Our boy Smotherman, and that's it. It's the 6K range. Okay. 6K range for me is pretty cut and dry. It is Swafford. I talked about it on the betting show. Huddy after his win had a little cold streak. Well, I found out last week, Pat, that he broke his driver that he was very comfortable with, had a lot of trust in. Driver got broken. It took him a little bit to figure it out and get a new one. He's hitting it better. Checks a lot of boxes, and he's pretty cheap. To me, Swafford's a pretty nice value considering the upside. He's a guy who's won plenty of birdie fest in his day, including one not that long ago. 6,700 is nice. I like Austin Smotherman a ton at 6,600. Our boy Austin Goggart caddying for him again this week. His first time on the bag with Smotherman was last week. Led him to a 25th place finish. The week before that, Goggs caddied for Patrick Rogers and led him to a 10th place finish at the Mexico Open. Now, I like what Goggarts and Smotherman are doing together, and this is a much better course for Austin than was TPC Potomac because Potomac, required a little more finesse around the greens, a little better, putting. This isn't going to require anything of him around the greens, and he's been ball striking very nicely. Austin Smotherman is 8th in the last 24 rounds in strokes gained approach and 18th in good drives gained. 2 of the most important stats to me this week in terms of scoring. You're going to need both of those. And then I got 2 guys, Pat, that are really cheap, and one of them we haven't even talked about yet. The other one was a big reveal on the betting show. How about Callum Tarrant at
Callum.
$6,400? Yeah, that sounds like a girl that I hit on at the skating rink back in the 90s, but it's not. Now, doesn't check the box in strokes gained approach over the last 24 rounds, but does in opportunities gained. So at least the ones he's hitting well, he's hitting close, right? He's 36th in this field. This is a strong field. 36th in the field in DraftKings points scored over the last 24 rounds, 43rd in off the tee, 11th in distance, and 9th in very recent form in putting over the last 12 rounds. Callum Tarrant, I think he's from England or something. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could totally be making that up. I've done that to a couple players before. We haven't seen him do very well at all in really any tournament on the PGA Tour outside of the Puerto Rico. So this is definitely a long shot, but he's checking boxes to be 6,400. Interesting play there. And then the last one for me is way on down here. Where is he? I've already passed him. Oh, no, 6,200. Brandon Hagee, the bomber, one of the longer hitters on tour, checks the box in par 5 scoring, and the putting is hot right now. Brandon Hagee at 6,200. That's it for me. I don't think I'll have a lot here, though. I don't think I'll be doing a lot in the 6K range,
Well,
except for Smotherman. I think I'm gonna have a good bit of Smotherman and maybe Swafford.
for me here, when you get into the 6K ranges, is it is what it is. They're all mostly in this range for a reason. They're not going to check a ton of boxes, meaning there's not going to be like, if you're looking at off the tee, approach, putting, whatever. They're not all going to,
Yeah.
check them all. So I tend to look more at recent form down here. In general, if I'm just giving a little inside, you know, track into what I'm looking at. And so there's a few guys here that I like the form that I think are worth playing. I think Steven Yeager, he's a guy that has missed some cuts on tour this year, but the last 2 weeks he's got a T15 in Mexico and then a top 10 last week at the Wells Fargo. Kind of a sneaky top 10 at the Wells Fargo, but still T6 there. So Steven Yeager, I do like. Another one that I like down here is a guy I've liked for a few weeks here is Scott Piercy. He's made his last 3 cuts with a 12th at the RBC Heritage, 33rd in Mexico, and then a T37 last week. I think that's also a good play. I was with you on Swafford. Big fan of old Swafford there at 6,700. And then DB, how can I not talk about Wyndham Clark at 6,900? I have to go Wyndham Clark. He's made at least his last 4 cuts with a 22nd at Corrales, a T35 at the Heritage, plenty long off the tee. Wyndham Clark, 6,900. I just can't. I
Okay.
can't avoid it.
Yeah. You could,
I
but
could, but
you won't.
personally, I have trouble with it. So.
Okay. I get it. I totally get it. All right. Let's get to the 2-minute men, Pat. And it was ugly last week. We did have Cam Young finish second. We did have CT Pan. You remember last week you finally got me over the hump with CT Pan, and I played him and he did well, and
Yeah.
that's the first time I'd ever played him. He finally taught me into him. We had Siwoo, who made the cut and kind of didn't do great. And then we had 3 missed cuts. So maybe you should just fade the 2-minute men lineup. Maybe that's why we're doing it. So maybe we should do that. All right, Pat, can you get the timer going?
Yep. Got it ready.
Okay. By the way, don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, please comment. Put in a comment. Tell us, give me a question you want me to ask one of the players in the press conference at Craig Ranch tomorrow or Wednesday. And also, if you can't think of anything for that, just would you buy a I Touch Myself t-shirt or a Rudy the Gerbil t-shirt if we did that? All right, Pat. I think I'm ready. That we had a lot of agreement, so this shouldn't be too hard, except for maybe what we do up top. I think could be a little sticky. All right, ready? You tell me when.
Ready, go.
All right. I've talked myself a little bit into. I think Jordan Spieth is not going to be chalky.
I don't mind going Jordan.
Shot a 63 here last year at one point. All right, Jordan.
Okay.
Where do you want to go? What you want to do?
I kind of, if we're dropping down, then I want to go like either Vegas or Wise.
Let's go Vegas.
Okay.
I like both a lot, but I think Vegas will be lower owned. Wise is a DFS darling for sure. All right. What about Lonto?
Yeah.
Lonto perennially underowned.
Big fan of Lonto.
Okay, who else? Did we go Kidayama?
I was gonna say we go down to Kidayama. We have to.
We have to play Kidayama. All right, we got 8,200 left. We got 2 players. Do we want to? Let me ask you this: do we want to go up? One thing we could do is jump up to like. Oh dang, we just can't hit that one. We could go. I was trying to get.
Can we hit Willie Z? And
I just put Willie Z in there, and I was seeing if we could get to 7,200 with Matt Wolff, but we can't. It puts us at 7K. So we could go. How much time do we have?
30 seconds.
We could go Swafford or Smotherman with Willie Z.
Let's put Willie Z in there, and let's go Smotherman.
I like it. I was hoping you would say that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, that leaves $400 on the table. We went with Jordan Spieth, Willie Z. We went with Lotto Griffin, Jonathan Vegas. Sorry, missed him. Kurt Kidayama and Austin Smotherman. That is your 2-minute men lineup. I like that one. I like that one a lot,
Yeah.
actually. Ate a little bit of chalk with Willie Z. Maybe Jordan ends up chalky. Maybe Vegas ends up chalky. But I like it a lot. There you go. There you have it. That's the Tour Junkies podcast for the 2022 Byron Nelson. We'll be back this week, actually, on Sunday night. We'll do the PGA Championship show from Southern Hills. Going to be a great week at Southern Hills. I'm really looking forward to that golf course. By the way, the course breakdown for Southern Hills drops on the YouTube channel on Wednesday, and it also drops in podcast feeds on Wednesday morning. I did a bunch of research on Southern Hills. It's like a 15 to 20-minute video. It's a little bit longer than I normally like to do, but it's a major championship week. It's got everything you need to know about it, so you don't have to do any of the research your own. I've done it for you. It's got player quotes in there, a quote or two from Gil Hance, who did the renovation in 2018. So that's Southern Hills coming up, and a bunch of content out on the Tour Junkies YouTube channel this week for the Byron Nelson, as well as some great new blog content. If you've not gone over and checked out the upgraded Tour Junkies blog with some fresh new faces, articles, content. If you look at that thing on a Wednesday afternoon, you see some new pieces out there that are really good. So check that out as well. It's all free. And we'll see you in the Nut Hut on Wednesday night, people. May your screens be green. See ya. Oh!